Good morning and happy Monday to everyone. I hope that you had a good weekend and now you're ready to get back at it in school for this week. I thought I'd start with just kind of a quick and easy devotional and just tell you something that I do when I don't even know what to pray for or how to think about what I want to pray for or anything and don't even know how to pray. And it's helped me over the years to be able to know that God is with me through the Holy Spirit to help me know what to pray for and even to take the empty thoughts that I have in my mind and make it into a prayer. And I'm going to read a verse from Romans 8, verse 26, because here's what it says. Likewise, the Holy Spirit, helps us in our weakness, for we do not know what to pray for as we ought. But the Spirit Himself intercedes, that means He goes between us, for us with groanings too deep for words. So I just feel like that's such a good comfort for me to know that I don't always have to have the right words to know how to pray, but that when I'm quiet before God, that the Holy Spirit helps me. And another thing that I've learned how to do, I'm going to turn my camera so that you can see what I'm doing, is praying in color. Praying in color. So this was one I did thinking about the school and about all of you students. And I just start by drawing something. I started by drawing CWC, and then I put the cross there because Christ is central to everything we do there. And then I just put different subjects in. And as I did that and then colored these colors, I think about and pray for the different subjects, but also for you students and for the whole school. So I start just by coloring, and I don't even sometimes know what I'm going to pray for. So right now I'm working on this one, and it was the verse we talked about last week about do not be anxious in anything, but in everything by prayer and petition present your request to God. So I thought I would just write that down and start coloring. And a lot of times I use colors that show me something. So I love orange. To me, that's a sign of joy. So when I'm coloring something orange, I might be praying that I will have joy or that other people will have joy in their hearts, because we know that because of Jesus, we can have joy all the time, no matter what's going on. Happiness kind of comes and goes, but joy in the Lord stays forever. So that's what I think of with orange. Green, I think of growing in God, growing strong. Yellow to me is just a joyful color also, but one that represents kind of the brightness of God. Purple, I think of the royalty of God. Red, I think of Jesus dying on the cross for us. So that's just kind of an example of how I pray in color. And I think if I keep reading in that verses that I was reading from Romans 8, it says, what shall we say then to these things? If God is for us, who can be against us? He who did not spare his own son, but gave him up for us all, how will he not also with him graciously give us all things? Who shall separate us from the love of Christ? Shall tribulation or distress or persecution, and we could say, or the coronavirus, separate us from God? No. In all these things, we are more than conquerors through him who loved us. For I am sure that neither death nor life, nor angels, nor rulers, nor things present, nor things to come, nor powers, nor height, nor depth, nor anything else in all creation will be able to separate us from the love of God in Jesus Christ. So that's my prayer for you today, that you will be able to know that love of Christ, that you will be able to maybe color It's calming to color, and I know we think of it maybe as a little kid activity, but if we just take some crayons or pencil crayons or markers and just start coloring, sometimes that just calms us down, and we can then be quiet and think about what God might want us to pray about. You maybe can hear a little bit of music in the background. Sometimes I turn on some music like that that's quiet, and that just helps God to be able to speak to our hearts and to our minds in that time. So my challenge for you today is just to try that and send me a picture of what you colored maybe, or just tell me how it is that you feel that God calms you down even in times when you might feel anxious or afraid. This is a week that you can know that God is with you and nothing can separate you from his love.